this is going to sound crazy, but there's no amount of money in the world you can make that will fulfill the purpose that God gave you.
Dead ass. And I think as I get older, I realize now that my success is not indicative upon my career success.
Dead ass.
1, 2, 3.
It all started with real talk, unfiltered, honest, and straight from the heart. Since then, we've gone on to become Webby Award-winning podcasters and New York Times best-selling authors.
Deadass was more than a podcast for us. It was about our growth. A place where we could be vulnerable, be raw.
Pause. But most importantly, be us.
But as we know, life keeps evolving, and so do we. And through it all, one thing has never changed.
This
is Ellis Ever After.
Dead ass.
Because we got a lot to talk about.
Story time. I'm going to take y'all back to a moment that 2015.
Okay.
2015. I was a mentor, a football coach, a dad, a husband. I was so many things. I was also 31 at the time. I had booked national commercials. Everything in my career was just going right. Owning businesses. My wife was beautiful.
Was?
Well, no, well, I mean, this was that time. You're still amazing.
You want to start over?
You're still amazing. You're still amazing.
Start
Everybody.
the story time over, sir.
You want to start over, bro?
See how they do me? You see how they do me? But like I had everything going for me. And you know what the most like fulfilling moment in that time was?
What?
Grand Street campus winning the city championship, because I had kids on that team. Majority of those kids came from single parent households. These were kids who didn't know if they were going to play football past college, let alone play football at a high level at high school. And we had 100% graduation rate. Not only did they win the city title, but we had a bunch of kids get scholarships to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
And one kid in particular, who I don't like to say his name because he had got so much hate and vitriol during the time, because he was facing some charges, was able to graduate and go to school and go to college. And I felt so fulfilled because it seemed as if my purpose as a human was greater than anything I could accomplish. Like it had spilled over to so many other people that I just felt like this is what life is about.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
You felt like your success in that moment was indicative on how you affected other people.
Yes. That was like just watching them be successful. And I mean, the cherry on top was the city championship, but it wasn't even that. It was graduation that year. They won in 2015, graduation for 2016. I watched all of these young men who learning disabilities, single parent homes, gang violence, all of these issues with their cap and gown on.
Yeah.
And taking pictures with me and my brother Brian and Bruce. And it was just like, yo.
That was cool. Like,
man.
That made them look cool
Oh,
to even
man.
be there.
To this day, still.
Defying the odds, yo.
Man, fuck it, man. Shout out Ramel Ashby. Shout out Naisha Bates. Those are the first two people who ever believed in me. And I'm trying not to get emotional.
Elite prototype athletics, baby.
When I talk
That's where
about
it
purpose,
started.
man, those families, those kids, man, they believed in me blindly. They didn't know who I was.
Yep.
And I believed in them blindly. And we trusted each other for 5 years. When I came back in 2010,
Yeah,
we trusted each other for 5 years.
Still family to this day.
Yes, man.
Still
I love
family.
you, Naisha,
So many.
yo. You know you my girl, man.
So many of our prototypes. I mean,
Mel.
I see TJ be here with us all the time.
TJ, the
TJ
person
is like
that
our son.
people
like,
think is really my son, who they started this whole internet campaign about DeVal hiding his kids from the world, or is he hiding the world from his kids?
TJ does look exactly
like
you.
me
He
in the
looks
face. I'm not
just
even
like
gonna lie.
But I
Crazy.
keep saying the reason why DeVal took to him was because his personality, his spirit, and
Yeah.
he looked like him. So DeVal was like, yo, he's like a little mini me
Yeah.
before I have a
Seriously.
mini me, you know?
Seriously, when they used to call
So
him
proud
Muscle.
of TJ.
They used to call him
I
Muscle.
have him in my phone still as TJ Muscle.
TJ Muscle.
Oh my god.
We make the same faces.
Yeah.
Come on, Coach DeVal. And Zach's character, for people who don't know, I mirrored Zach's character in his immatureness from TJ when he was in high school.
Yeah.
So when you see the faces and the lips poked out, and those are all
Mhm.
things that TJ used to do when he was going through
Yeah.
his maturing process. So I channel that to play Zach. So people, when they see me and him interact, it's like I get to see Zach interact with a grown version of himself. So I love that whole time in my life, prototype.
Yeah.
I
So
love
many
all y'all
amazing families
kids,
we met
man.
along the way.
Joan,
I just literally thought of Joan.
Ramshaw, Kyrie,
Like so
Malachi.
much that Joan and Naisha are Kaz's godmothers. Like,
Yeah.
That's how close we've become over the years. Kaz be FaceTiming Joan all the time. I'm like, you talk to her like unbeknownst to me. He be on his
Yes.
iPad like, I'm talking to Auntie Joan. But I love that for my kids. The relationships continue even in our kids' generation. So it's a beautiful thing to do and see.
So me and Jackson got a call back from last week's audition. And guess who they asked us to bring? This guy. He not even paying attention.
What do you mean? I got a loose.
Book 'em Ellises.
I got a loose tooth, baby.
Whoa, you ready? You ready for your first commercial audition? Yeah, you ready.
Yeah, buddy.
Shut up.
Book 'em Ellises.
I got a tooth.
All right, karaoke time. We're talking about success.
Yes.
Outside of career success.
I'm going to take this back to, this song came out, I don't know when the song came out, it was in 1990 something, but the words in the song are so profound because the first two words are really big in manifestation. Because I am whatever you say I am, and if I wasn't, then why would I say I am? It's in the paper, the news every day I am. Radios won't even play my jam because I am. You notice what my name is? I am DeVal. Kadeen, I am. Those words mean so much. It's about purpose and speaking your purpose out here in the world so that you can fulfill and live in it.
Exactly. I love that. And it's not really I am whatever you say I am. I am who I say I
Yes,
am. How about
I
that?
am whatever you say I am, baby.
All right, y'all. We will be back with Op or No Op. I heard Tribble got some good stuff to talk about today, so stick around and we'll be right back.
So this is crazy. For the first time in our lives, I get a chance to escort Kay and watch her do her thing. How you want me to handle these? You want me to hold them like hold like? And it feels real good to stand back here and watch her just bask in everything she worked for.
Yeah, like a little chariot. Giddy up. Stallion.
Since she was 18 years old, so it feels good to be arm candy for a little bit and let my wife do her thing. Love you, baby. All right, so we back. Tribble, what you got for us
today?
Let me
get my paddle ready. It's smoking hot.
Yeah, let's get that paddle ready.
Is it an Op or No Op today?
So I learned about a film. Well, by the time this episode comes out, the film's been out. It's probably streaming by now. But it's called Highest to Lowest. It's a brand new Spike Lee joint starring Denzel Washington. Now, these are two of the most prominent Black people in Hollywood, in Black culture. And yet this film has gotten little to no promo behind it. So I want to know.
We're hearing about this for the first time.
Yeah.
You heard about it?
I'm a movie guy, so I've heard about this, but I do have a theory.
Okay. Well, what was your question, I guess, associated with it, Tribs?
Well, what do you think that's about? Denzel Washington is super famous, Oscar nominated. Spike Lee, Oscar nominated.
Yes.
Profound artist.
There's no director or actor more world-renowned than them two.
No. So
yeah.
What's your opinion on why studios haven't tried to promote this movie? It has a theatrical release, and then it's going to go to streaming about 3 weeks later. So
I have a theory. I could be wrong, but it's the Beyonce Lemonade theory. Remember Beyonce dropped the album in the middle of the night and nobody knew what was happening, and it was the biggest craze because everybody was like, what is this? Remember the Lemonade album dropped like that? Kay woke up in the middle of the night, 3 a.m. Oh my God! I was like, what happened? She was like, Beyonce dropped an album! And then she immediately started playing it in the middle of the night. And I wonder if, because Denzel is coming off of a huge press tour, right? He did a huge press tour for Gladiator 2. And then on top of that, he did a huge press tour for the Othello.
Right.
So for the first 6 months of the year, he's been on press talking about projects. He also said during those press tours that he was going to retire. Ever since he said that, every movie that he's going to be in is going to be what? Huge.
Huge, of course.
So if you're a studio, you're like, you know what? We typically spend about $100 million on budget for marketing. What if we try something different? And we say we have Denzel and Spike Lee. Let's see how much we can sell without marketing. That's what I'm thinking the theory is, because I can't see for no reason why any studio wouldn't put money behind pushing Denzel. Because when we were producing Othello, that's what we did. We had a certain amount of dollars that we put towards the marketing for Othello. Yeah. So that's the only thing I can think of. Maybe the Beyonce Lemonade effect, and maybe they catch people off guard. The only other thing was what Josh said, is going to streaming in 4 weeks. And they might feel like, hey, people gonna watch it on streaming regardless. It was already sold to a streaming company. so we don't really have to market it. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
When is it projected to come out?
The 15th.
The 15th of September?
August.
15th of August.
Of
and then-
August.
and then
Oh,
it comes
okay.
out
Oh,
in
okay.
September.
Huh.
There's so much conversation about like theatrical releases being dead.
Right.
And so I can see studios trying to figure out different ways to make theatrical releases pop. And I don't think there's anything more profitable than Black outrage. And the marketing that I've seen around this this film has been Black film buffs and reviewers going online to be outraged. Like there's no marketing behind this movie and this is what the movie is and it's starring Denzel. And that's how I heard about it. Was
what's the
through
premise
Black
of the movie?
outrage. I have no idea.
So we don't even know what the premise is.
think
So there's
that
a
might be-
trailer that dropped or anything?
Yeah, there's a trailer.
there's a
out.
trailer.
There is a trailer. So, I mean, you might be right. People are trying to reinvent the wheel now when it comes to
have
ways
to.
to market and even just ways to produce your own content. Like, just as actors, no longer are we just submitting tapes and self-tapes. Everyone's taking the reins and saying, this is what I'm going to do in order to give myself the opportunity if it's not going to be given to me. So I can see them taking different approaches and trying to save money because Denzel's going to draw an audience. Spike Lee's going to draw an audience.
Absolutely.
So a powerhouse like that together, I feel like once the word of mouth, which tends to be the most powerful word of mouth is the most powerful form of marketing anyway,
Very true.
then maybe it'll be a success. Just
Yeah, the
off
last
of
movie they
that.
shot together was Inside Man 18 years ago. So people are going to go watch it.
I think what you just said was, I think you hit the nail on the head. Black outrage is going to make it marketable in itself.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, it's perfect. People typically double whatever the budget was for production for marketing. So if the budget for this was 50, 60 million, they're probably like, why would we spend 50, 60 million if we could just get Black people upset and they're going to go rush to see it just
that's
to prove us wrong?
hilarious.
That kind of makes sense. It really does.
Hey,
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I don't
Because
think-
Sinners, they put a lot of money into
Exactly.
marketing.
Listen.
And it worked. I mean, Michael B. and Ryan Coogler was on every podcast, and it worked. People went out and saw that movie, but people also went out to see it just because it was Black IP, it was Black owned, it was Black directed, it was starring Black people.
Absolutely.
So that also
Shoot.
shows the power of the Black dollar.
We saw it super early on. I think when it was early released, we went and
Yes.
saw it. And then us just putting our review essentially online, it got like over 1 million views. So
Yes.
think about it.
Yeah.
If even 10% of those people went to go see the film,
Very true.
then that's 100,000 people that went
That's
to see the
very
film
true.
just
They
off
owe
the
y'all
strength of
piece
us,
of the
the
cake.
strength of us giving our opinion. Yeah.
I know. We should have got some percentage of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, Mike. You know, we
on
just trying
You
to
know,
get
see how people try
we
to
just
eat
trying
off
to
other
get
people's
you
stuff?
on the. We just trying to get
I'm
you
the
on the
reason
couch.
why Sinners
I
guys.
promoted for free.
Because of me. Nobody knew who Ryan Coogler was till I said his name.
You got to gatekeep.
I know,
Listen,
right?
you know what
I
I'm
should not
saying?
tell nobody about. I should have told nobody about Michael B. Jordan. They was like, "Who? Michael Jordan play basketball again?" I was like, "No, Michael B. Jordan."
Michael Bakari.
But no, that's the only thing I could think of because there's
Yeah.
no other reason not to market that film. That film's gonna do numbers.
For
Yeah.
sure.
And I think Black moviegoers are not going to let Denzel and Spike Lee fail. So
Oh, we
Nah,
not.
hell
I'll
You
no.
be
know
at
we-
the movies.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah.
We should make it a group trip.
Yeah.
You know,
It's working.
team
Kadeem,
building
Look,
out
it's
it.
working.
Team
Look, it's working.
building.
I'm
outing.
not falling for Kadeem's group trip pipe dream
What are you
that she
talking
keeps
about?
on feeding us. It's
Come on,
been
put her on blast.
No,
Trouble.
listen,
Put her
it's
on
like
It's
blast.
you
not a
gotta-
pipe dream. She be on them trips. You just don't be there.
Do
It
that
ain't a dream. It's a
I don't be in
reality.
the-
Listen,
I don't
I
be in the
gotta
group.
vet the team because you know, as we lose members and stuff, I gotta make sure that it's a solid team that we're gonna invest in taking out the country. You know what I'm saying? That's all
Meanwhile,
that
Trim
got
has
to do
no
with
idea
it.
this is happening and sees all of this on
On
Instagram.
Instagram. Wow. Wow.
They done did it without me.
They went to go see this
Yes,
movie
they did get
without
on
me.
the group
me.
chat.
All right, baby steps. All right, let's go see a movie first. All right, before we get passport stamps and whatnot.
We'll see. So a shout out to Miss Rachel. We're talking about success outside of your career. I think Miss Rachel has been y'all kids like. Well, does Dakota watch Miss Rachel?
Yes, he watches Miss
he watches.
Rachel.
He used to
Yes.
watch Miss Rachel.
Yeah, he
like,
did.
So just quickly, she's been talking about speaking out against violence against children in Gaza and says
Yes.
that is more important than any of the success she has as one of the biggest YouTube creators online right now. So shout out to Miss Rachel for really
Shout out
standing
to
up,
Miss Rachel. Yeah.
putting herself on the line that way. There's another movie that's coming out. We don't know much about it, but there have been some fan theories online that Monkey Paw has been validating. It's called Him. Have you seen it with Marlon Wayans?
Oh, yes,
Marlon Wayans, a
uh-huh.
football movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see this movie because it looks like it's going to be, horror,
Yeah.
a little more drama than what
Different.
Marlon is doing. But I know that Marlon is just hilarious. So there's probably going to be a little slapstick comedy, a little
I don't think so.
ridiculousness.
I don't think so. I think because I watched an interview he did where he said this was something that had to stretch him, pause.
Yeah.
But he had to step outside of what people wanted to see him as. And I think because of that, he won't do any slapstick. That's what I think.
I agree. I think I've seen a couple of clips of him lately, and I'm just like, wow, I'm used to seeing him be goofy, and I was like, oh, this is a different side of Marlon. And it could just be that him wanting to change the temperature of what his career looked like, or it could just be him getting older and saying, I want to be taken more seriously in these realms. But it's been particularly hard for me to see, for example, somebody who I've seen in a comedy space then transition over to like drama, for example.
It's hard.
Like Jim Carrey, for example.
It's hard.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective came on the other day, and I was watching it with the boys, and that movie is freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
DeVal was just like, nowhere in the script direction, I'm sure it said that he should be scaling the side of this wall to get around the building to climb through a window, and doing it with such theatrics.
Animation.
They just said action. They just said action, and he was doing whatever.
And he was Jim Carrey.
Yes.
But they did a film come out after that, which was not after, but maybe
23.
a couple of years later. 23. And I was just like, this is not the Jim Carrey I want to see.
Chris Rock did Spiral. It bombed because people like to see, Chris Rock do comedy.
Right.
Martin was in a movie that was in like a little horror and nobody went to see it. It is hard to see people in that box. You know who told me that? Tyler.
Tyler told you that, yeah.
I was doing Zach, and Zach had became so comedic, and he was just like, if you keep playing Zach so comedic, you'll never come back from that. He's like, you can't be a leading man once you're a goofball.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, well, Will Smith played a goofball in The Fresh Prince. He said, well, Will Smith started that when he was 19. But then there was also the scene where Will Smith lost his dad, and you got a chance to see Will Smith be emotional. And I was like, oh, you're right. So he's like, he was a goofball, but he was also very emotional. And I think the same thing. Like, it's going to be hard, but did y'all watch The Sixth Sense? Not Sixth Sense. No, not Sixth Sense. Senseless. Or The Sixth Man, Marlon Wayans. Marlon Wayans was very good as an emotional character in The Sixth Man. He was opposite Kadeem Hardison, where they were brothers who went to go play at Washington State, and they were A&K, and they were A&K all the way. Kadeem Hardison had died of a heart attack and had to come back as the Sixth Man. Marlon was extremely
really
good at that in an emotional space. And he was also good playing, speaking of Fresh Prince, in Bel-Air. He played Will's dad in the new season of Bel-Air, which was very emotional, which we got a chance to see Marlon do those things. So, I think it'll be easy. Yeah, you got to go check it out. Marlon Wayans is extremely talented, bro.
Yeah.
It's hard, though, because his last stand-up press tour, he did, remember he was on Shaq's podcast, and he told Shaq he wanted to be in a gooey. And then he ended up spitting on himself to simulate. Yeah. Yo, Marlon is hilarious.
It was hilarious.
Right. I mean, I think it's just extreme talent to do both.
Yeah.
To be able to do both successfully, like,
I can show you somebody who
super
has
talent.
Nobody can tell me Jamie Foxx is not one of the greatest actors of all time.
Oh my God, absolutely, absolutely.
And you talk about he was coming from Wanda, how you doing? Being Wanda like this, his eyes crossed like this. And Jamie Foxx, though, he was a complete fool.
So good.
The whole Jamie Foxx
What
show.
a triple threat.
And then plays Ray.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude,
and then drops
man.
a freaking album.
Not only plays Ray, but plays Ray that you think this is Ray Charles.
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Like, I'm not putting limits on any artist. You never know.
Listen, I'm supporting everybody black. I'm going to the movies and I'm seeing everybody black. Streaming everybody black. All that.
Josh, how we doing on time? Come on. Okay, come on. Like, you taking mad long.
I'm ready. I just checked my
You're not ready if you're not here.
Any flyaways?
Yes, you're ready.
Okay. You like the straight hair?
I love the show.
Thank you. Okay, beard.
All of
Line up sharp. You look great. Oh, let me put your chain. Okay. Perfect.
My bad, Josh.
Yep. All right. Ready?
You good?
Camera guys, smiling.
Okay, what we got to do?
You already did it.
What?
You already did it. Perfect.
We already did it. That's what happened.
All right, so not to make a hard transition, but I do have some questions for y'all that I didn't want to.
Come on now. Well, hard transition us, baby.
Yes,
What's up?
I didn't want to give y'all any time to think about it,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to hear these answers. Okay?
Okay.
I'm going to start with Josh. What's your purpose in life? You can't mention being a father, and you can't mention what you do for a living. Go.
It's hard to say, but I know one of my purpose in life is I've always felt that people need to see God through me and through what I do and my abilities. One being the life that I live. So funny, in high school, none of y'all know this about me. I've never talked about this, but I used to go on the train to preach. And I was compelled to like just share like a word. It wasn't like a ministering. And I would do this before, not high school, I'm bugging. This was after college, when on my way to work in Manhattan. I used to do this on the train. Most terrifying thing I ever did. But I wanted to, I realized, like, you on the train in New York City and you see the stresses that people have. They're on the train early in the morning, they're leaving late at night. And I felt like at that time it was to just pray for somebody on the train, pray for the train car, just give a good word. So I've always known and felt like my purpose, or at least part of my purpose, is that people see God through the things that I do and the life that I live.
Perfect. I don't want to give them too much time. Triple go.
I think my purpose is to use my personality, my humor, my ability to be social and relate to different people to illuminate people's idea of what the world is, to expand people's idea of what the world is.
Perfect. Matt, go.
Not too sure, but I think part of it is showing people. I travel a lot, so bringing my perspective of traveling to different places around the world and showing that where you are is not. It comes back to a quote. The world's a book, and if you only know your neighborhood and stuff, you only know one chapter. So I feel like my purpose is to bring more of what's around the world, the rest of the book, to other people.
Perfect. Kay, go.
I just want people who ever encounter or have an interaction with me, whether it's a brief interaction or an extended period of time, just be kind. For people to experience kindness and just generosity through me and my spirit.
So the reason why I asked the question is because I want y'all to notice the first thing. I asked y'all, nobody said I know. Everybody said I think, which means you don't know what your purpose is. That's most of the reasons why people are lost in the world. That's why when people think about marriage as their purpose, and when that doesn't work because you still get married and you have kids, you still struggle with that. People have exemplary careers and it's going on and you still find depression in that because people don't really spend time with the person that matters the most, which is themselves, which is why I sang that song, I Am. Remember when I was 19? Each day I work to build a legacy, not to be defined by my greatness, but by the masses I inspire to be greater than myself. That has been my purpose since I was 19. And because of that, every time my life went in a direction where I didn't expect it, from football to acting, from acting to this, I knew what my purpose was. So I never got lost in what am I doing.
Has your purpose shifted from that state of mind that you had at 19?
No. To this day, it's still the very same thing. Now, how you reach your purpose, for example, what Josh said, he wanted people to see God through him, right? What does that look like? You don't know until God gives you the tools to see him, right? I didn't know how I was going to inspire people to be better than themselves. And I noticed that inspiration can come from person to person in different ways. I may inspire Josh in a different way than I inspire you, but that doesn't mean it takes away from my purpose because I'm not doing it in the way I see it for myself. I've learned to sit in what I'm doing and find that whatever I'm doing, there's a purpose for what I really have going on out here in the world to do that.
So at 19, coming up with that mission statement, you had no idea that social media was going to be a way that you impact the masses.
No clue.
But here you are, years later, and you've been impacting the masses through social media.
And what did I always want to do in my life? I always say it.
You always said that you wanted to help the people.
And always do what, though? When I was 5, I watched Boys in the Hood and I said,
you wanted to be famous. You wanted to be an actor.
I wanted to act. I knew
act.
that I wanted to act. But I learned throughout early parts of my life that wasn't my purpose.
Right.
My purpose is not acting. Purpose can be a vehicle for me to show people what God looks like what Josh talked about, or show people kindness, like what you talked about, or travel the world and show them like what Matt talked about, right? But that's not necessarily what my purpose is.
Right. So it's not wrapped up in your career choices, not wrapped up in your day-to-day things that you have to do to sustain your life, but instead the purpose is the overarching goal, and how you get there really depends on your day-to-day.
You wake up every day, right? And if you sit and think to yourself and like you meditate and you say, I know my purpose is to inspire people, but I'm not on TV today. I'm not filming anything. I lost my purpose. You see what I'm saying? You can't live like that. My purpose was to be a mom or a dad, but I'm not married. I don't have kids yet.
Or your kids grow up and
You
your
see what
kids
I'm
move
saying?
on and they live their own life. And it's like, was your purpose all wrapped up in being everything for your children? And then
You
what
see?
happens when your children go on to live their life?
Yeah.
I've seen a couple adults like that now who in their older years are like, man, lost because the thing that they attached their purpose to is either no longer there. Say that your spouse passes on and you're like, man, I was supposed to be the best wife for the rest of my life. And now you no longer have your spouse or your children are gone. That makes a lot of sense.
You see what I'm saying? And the reason why I wanted to ask the question quickly and get the response, because I didn't want y'all to have to think too much or listen to someone else. Because whenever I do this in a group, the first person that answers, everyone else's answer typically resembles a little bit of what that person says.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like now I'm thinking about it. And then when you said about it, you probably never really sat down and thought to yourself, what is my purpose?
No, it's funny. Literally, when you asked me that, asked us that, I remembered you mentioned in an early recording, and I was driving this week. I had no music playing, just thinking, like, what is my purpose? And within 5 minutes, I changed topics in my head. I don't think I really know.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But how would you go about helping somebody to find their purpose?
So now this is what I really wanted to talk to y'all about, like finding success outside of just your job or your spouse or your relationships. We as people have to get used to doing this. Sitting silent, being still.
Be present with yourself.
That's it. Be present. Because your purpose comes out when you're not thinking about anything else. When you sit there and you just sit and you silent, and it may not come for a day. You may sit there and be like, this is stupid. I can't think of anything else. I can't. And that's fine. That's because you still haven't reached that point where your body can then go into a place of calm and relaxation. Typically, your body, when you try to think of nothing, thinks of all the things subconsciously that you will want to think about. You have to learn how to meditate.
Yeah. And when you say I am, right? I noticed that everyone has spoken about their purpose and it was predicated upon impacting other people. Is that what you think your purpose always is? It has to impact others, or are you concerned about how your purpose is going to affect you?
That's a good question.
Now, are you asking me directly?
Well, just in general, like for anyone to think, because I'm not sure. When I think about it, I'm like, well, how do I still also self-sustain and not try, for example, to be kind to other people with that being a detriment to me?
Do you know what that is?
If I'm thinking about I am.
What you're doing the process of discovering your purpose. No one else can answer that question for you. This is how I reached the space to be able to say how I feel. And no matter how people take it or what comes from it, that's just what it is. Because if I've said something or I've done something, I've gone through the process of saying, you know what, this is truly how I feel. I'm not saying this because I want to make people feel a way. This is how I feel about it. So how you think about what I say has nothing to do with me changing what I say. I just said how I felt. And you have to be comfortable with dealing with that. The problem with this world is that we automatically assume that everything that we do has to include everybody else.
That's what we're programmed to. Because even when you ask that question, what's your purpose? Most people are answering the question, what's my purpose for the world?
Right.
What am I giving back to the world in a sense?
I think that goes back to what Josh said his purpose was, because I feel like, I don't know why this is making me emotional thinking about this.
It's a good topic.
Let it out.
No, seriously.
But I'm thinking like being kind, for example, to people. We don't see enough of that nowadays, right? And I feel like God in this moment is speaking to me and he's saying, but that's the reason I gave you that purpose. Like my purpose is directly attached to God and his plan for my life. So in being more Christ-like and being more like God, I feel like he placed that purpose on my heart because he wants me to impact people in that way. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it makes it easier for me, regardless of what I have going on, to just be kind to people and feel like, man, you never know what people are encountering when you see them. You know, when I was filming on set, Divorce Sisters with TP, right? He prayed every morning before we started filming. And he said, you come to this space with 300 other people. You have no idea what people are bringing to work that day. You have no idea what happened to them on the way to work or last night, or they're thinking about what they have to do when they leave work. So just be kind, you know? And I really genuinely feel like when I think about my purpose, although we feel like it needs to be wrapped up in I am, God through me is impacting others because that's the way he wants it to be.
And can't nobody take that from you, Kay? And that's the thing. There's nobody else can validate your purpose. You know your purpose, right?
Right.
The same way your purpose may be kindness. Nothing in me tells me that I have to be kind to everybody. Nothing in me says that. Everything in me says that I have to try to help that person be a better version of themselves. Which means if it's getting cussed out, if it's telling you the truth about yourself, or if it's being kind. Some people, to be a better version of themselves, just need you to be kind. Nothing in me says that my purpose is wrapped up in anything you said.
Right. That's
And I'm not
purpose
gonna
is different.
judge myself because my purpose doesn't sound like yours.
Yeah.
And what happens is we go and we try to find our purpose. And if my purpose doesn't sound profound enough or doesn't sound like what other people are going to applaud, we then change what we want our purpose to be to applaud for everyone else. And then you end up on a rabbit hole of doing all of those things. And then you in your 40s, and it's like, I've been doing this, and I don't know what my purpose is.
Yeah.
I just did this because I thought people were going to applaud it. And now people ain't applauding it. Or people are applauding it, and I still feel like crap.
And that's why people don't know their purpose.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to sit with yourself.
I have thought about my purpose a lot. I have thought about it a lot. I've like read a bunch of books. I've done a bunch of like searching and validating and affirming, and just like, I do believe that I know what my purpose is. And one thing that I came up with, I think this was like in college, is that our purpose comes from our gifts, and our gifts are things that God gives us freely, things that we don't have to ask for, things we don't have to work for. There's certain things about us that we can remember back to our earliest point. Like the first thing that I can remember is me literally doing stand-up for my family. I've been doing it since I was 3 years old for no reason. Just, it started as mimicking, and then I would put my own stories into it, and then people would start asking me to do it. And then, you know what I'm saying? And it just evolved. And even no matter how far I got from this thing, it's not even about doing stand-up. It's about the ability to be able to talk to anybody in a certain way, to be able to relate to people in a certain way, and to be able to relay information to people in a certain way where people want to hear from you. They don't expect to hear it from you, and they want to hear it, and they want to hear more. But I think that it's those things when we think about what is the thing about me that it just seems innate. Like I just have
Your
this
gift,
ability,
like you said,
right?
yeah,
It's
like
your
your gift,
gift. That is directly, I think, tied to what
I
your
agree.
mission is and what your purpose is, because you have that thing because it's meant for you to use it, right? And the way that you were freely given it is how you're supposed to freely give it.
What if
That's
you have
always been
multiple
my-
gifts though?
Some
Do you
people
think that it's a gift, or you think that it's a talent?
Gift.
Okay.
Well, technically, all a talent is a gift that you've applied a skill to nurture it. That's all a talent is. There are no talented people who didn't have a gift first.
Correct.
So if you see someone as talented as something, that was a gift God gave them. I'm glad you brought that up because our purpose is directly related to our gifts. But we often ignore our gifts, or our parents tell us to ignore our gifts because society isn't going to accept that you're going to do that gift as an occupation.
That's true.
You know what
if
I'm
you don't
saying?
develop that gift into a talent that can then become lucrative, it's like, what's the point in trying to even nurture that?
Right.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
I think if you look at the trajectory of my life, right? I've always been a teacher. When I retired from the NFL, I went back into mentoring, doing development for kids. Not necessarily because I wanted them to be better athletes, but be better men. Then from being better men, I had a bunch of young volleyball girls, softball girls, track girls. Then they become better women, become better people. Then I transitioned from there, and now I'm on social media talking about being a father. And I'm once again trying to say, hey, how about we all become better people?
Right. And then you get 4 sons.
You see what I'm saying? It's like God has given me
Yeah.
gifts. Sometimes my gift is speed. I got to use my speed in this way to be an example, to show them that I can play ball, to show those young kids that I can do something. God gave me an innate ability to tell stories and make it relatable, like you. So what do? I don't run from it. I just put it on social media. People's like, oh, you should need to charge people for that. I'll let them spread it for free. While spreading it for free, the gift that God gave me, I start to get compensated. You notice that God is providing a way for me to share my gifts with people by giving me opportunities that I never
Absolutely.
ever asked for.
Yes,
And
that's
for
that's
me,
it right there.
yeah.
You
Like
see?
you'll see when you are using your gifts, when you're aligned in what your purpose is, things will happen extremely easy for you.
Boom.
It's
Yeah.
so true.
I did this
Boom.
it's called tantric meditation, and the purpose is like you meditate and you're supposed to basically go to a place. Like you're supposed to see things in your mind. And the purpose of this meditation specifically was, she said that everybody is born with a purpose. And, your purpose may be X, Y, or Z, but sometimes, and your purpose is shown through like your aura. So when people can see your aura, or they can, energetically feel your aura, things start to happen for you easily because your aura is shining. But sometimes things will happen that will cloud your aura. If things don't seem to be happening for you easily, you have to kind of figure out what is it that's clouding your aura. And she compared it to like if a piece of coal was burning and there's black smoke coming off of it, and that's like blocking your aura. And so you got to figure out. So the purpose of this specific meditation, we had to she walked us through, and she would say like, what color do you see? What do you see in this room? And she was like, once we get to a certain point, you're going to see what's blocking your aura and you'll innately know what to do about it. And so like you were saying, like sometimes we have to sit with ourselves to say like, there's something that's deep inside me that I desire, that I know that I deserve, even that I know that I would be good at, that I know that I would thrive at. I can see myself aligning in this way. And maybe even sometimes you've seen glimpses of things happening super easy for you. And you're like, damn, why can't I get back to there? And you have to like take the time to figure out what is it that's blocking that?
Right.
What is
how
it
do I
that
realign after that?
How do you realign? Because we are just humans having a human experience.
Yeah.
We're really like celestial beings having a human experience.
Yes.
And sometimes we got to get that human shit out of the way so that we can really live as divinely as we're supposed to.
It's true, because there's a lot of purposeless people walking around here too that's impacting your aura, essentially.
That's ultimately what impacts the aura.
Yeah, and it's clouding the judgment. What were you going to say, babe?
What do I say I get all the time?
Visions.
Visions. Since I was a kid, I would get visions. Ever since I was a kid. And it's scary at times. You're like, why do I see this? I've never saw this before, but why am I seeing this? And a lot of times we block the fact that that's something sent from you that's greater than you. And you block it as something you don't want to be a part of. But realistically, that's what you should be following. Some people call it the Holy Spirit. Some people call it meditation. But what we have to stop doing is running from those visions we see that come from a divine place and chasing what everyone else is saying, right? You know what was the worst thing that ever happened to people who are chasing their purpose? Was social media. Because if you say something and other people don't agree with it and you get attacked for it, you're like, I don't want to feel this feeling of being attacked. So then they just run from that, right? Same thing in your family. You say you want to do something career-wise, and your family says, why would you do that? You're not going to make no money. You get scared and like, all right, well, let me go do something else. So now you're a doctor.
Right.
And you make $900,000 a year. And you smoke, you do cocaine, and I'm only saying this because one of our friends is a neurologist, and he was like, bro, it's dark here in the medical profession. I was like, what you mean? He said, it's a bunch of people who are doing this because their parents told them they had to. And now they work for hospitals who have quotas. And with these quotas, you can't even worry about the humans you're supposed to be treating. You have to meet the quota, and you realize you have no purpose here other than serving the the medical industrial complex. And he said doctors are taking medication and drugs to just numb themselves from.
And these are people
foolery.
who are supposed to care for you.
Yeah,
and
which is crazy.
I'm like, yo, this. Can you imagine if people just stop for a minute and say, "Hey, son, don't worry about how you're gonna make money. What are you feeling, daughter? What do you want to do? Well, I don't really want to be a mom. Cool. You don't got to be a mom. I don't even want to be married. You don't have to be married. What is your body, your spirit telling you that you want to do? And we nurture those visions. Right? In TV, they call it X-Men. Oh, you X-Men, you got vision, you got special powers. All of those things were little messages from God that if you start to dull people's natural gifts down and make them alienated because they're different, all they're going to do is just conform with everybody else and be average.
Right. But imagine if everybody locked into whatever their vision, their purpose is for their life and really was in tune with that, then we can be a very effective contributing member to society.
Absolutely.
Because you would be performing within your purpose.
Absolutely.
Which is probably the highest level of what you need in order to sustain life and coexist together.
Yeah.
You know what
That's
I mean?
literally it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's really important to have these types of conversations with the people that you're around, with your community, because a lot of times you can learn about who you are and even learn about what your purpose is by listening to the people around you, where people will just see something in you and you'll be like, there's sometimes I meet people that I don't know. and they'll say something that somebody that I've known for 20 years has said, and you're like, damn, okay, this must be a true thing. Cause sometimes like we don't see ourselves as clearly as somebody else might, somebody with a pure heart at least.
And sometimes that's their purpose.
Exactly.
Their purpose is to show you
what
you should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's just a fact.
Yeah. Are there any non-career goals you guys have set for yourself? Now that we're talking about purpose, is there anything like this juncture in life you're like, you know what? Aside from career, aside from family, this is what I want strictly for myself as we develop who I am.
Goals?
You said outside of
things
work
you
and
want for
family.
yourself.
Right?
Outside of
work and family
career,
for myself.
outside,
I mean, I want more knowledge. I want to read more. I was telling Matt the other day, I'm gonna start jujitsu this fall. I just want to do more of the things that I want to do for myself. I feel like I just do, and I'm just doing all the things that are work related. It's taxing. And when I look back at like the past few years, like, yo, what have you been doing for yourself?
Yeah.
Like, and it's absolutely nothing. And that's okay for then. But when the moment it clicks to me, like, yo, you probably should just do this, or you should do that. I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna waste the time and like
talking yourself out of it.
Yeah, man. Just like take action. Like just do it. And I've been trying new things all year. We did some salsa classes early in the year. We just like doing different things. And I just want to take all the things I said, man, I want to do it. Sailing classes, all that stuff. I'm trying to get
That's
done.
good stuff.
Matt, Tribble?
Right now I'm working on just being a healthier version of myself physically.
That was mine.
I think
that was mine too.
I get caught up in I'm a very social person. I love to have fun. And I love hanging out with my friends. I love my friends so much. They're so cool and cute and stuff. But, when we get together, a lot of times it's like, let's go party, let's have a drink, So I'm challenging myself to have fun in other ways and to do other things for my body besides just like be social.
I don't really have that much thinking about outside of work and family right now, because I've done a lot of sitting with myself. Like I've traveled the world by myself. A lot of people don't spend time with themselves. So I've done that already in my life at a younger stage. So I feel like a lot of the stuff I wanted to change, I've worked on and still am working on, like having more patience, things like that. But a lot of the stuff for me is wrapped up into work for me. Like I take a lot of pictures. If I didn't do it for work, I would still be taking those pictures.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Tricky in that area.
That's you asked a really good question, and that's part of sitting down and thinking. I, like Josh, I want to perfect my being. I want to be in optimal physical shape. I want to be able to move in every plane of movement I can move: linear, sagittal, transverse plane. I want to be as strong as I can. I want my oxygen level to be high. I also want to be in a different plane mentally. I know for a fact that we only use a small percentage of our brain.
Yeah.
You want to use as much as part of that, much as that as possible.
I want to access my brain more. So I read more. I play a lot more games. I also want to travel. I don't believe anything I see on TV or on social media anymore. I don't believe none of it. It's all for entertainment. It's all for ways to get people to have that herd mentality to all follow.
Fear mongering.
I want to go see. I want to go travel the world and see what it's like in the Middle East, what it's like in Asia. What I just want to see. Yeah. I don't want to listen to anyone else's ideas of what those places are like.
Well, Kadeen says she's going to take us on a trip.
See what you started?
Come on now.
You see what you started?
Come on now.
Well, you have to be able to answer these questions, though.
You're gonna see life clearly though after that. Like seriously.
No, seriously. I think I joked before in a previous podcast about taking a long time to like reply to text messages with my friends and whatnot. And though sometimes it's necessary because we do have all the things to juggle between life and career and whatnot, family. I want to just be more intentional about like somebody crosses my mind, I'm going to reach out. Like that human connection, building those relationships. And I feel like I'm feeling it more lately because I have a couple people in my life who are battling, or if they're not battling, they know someone who is battling a terminal illness. And it just had me thinking like, man, these memories that I can be creating while I have the time, or even if it's just shooting someone a text message to say, hey, you were on my mind, I was thinking about you. It doesn't have to be a long drawn out conversation, but again, that's my purpose, to impact kindness, or to let someone know, you know what, someone's thinking about me in this moment, or damn, like that text message just made me smile because life was lifing at this moment. life is fleeting, man. I'm seeing it left
It
and
really
right every
is.
day the older I get. Talking to my godfather the other day, I texted him out of nowhere and he was so happy to hear from me. And I hadn't texted him in a minute because I didn't even have his number. I was like, oh my God, didn't have your number. Got his number and he's just like, hey, you know, we had a rough year. About 13 family members have passed or friends since the top of the year. And it just got me to thinking like, damn, I got to do a better job of like actually living in moments with people who I care about.
But that's
even just strangers.
What you just described though is purpose. How often do you feel that I should text this person and then you find a reason not to? So you've just abandoned the purpose just because you had to find something else that you thought was more productive.
In that moment, yeah.
That's what living in your purpose is. It's like, I don't have to find a reason to do something else. If God is sending me a message to do this, let me sit and do that while I have the time to do it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely, if I text I have friends who are bad texters and I'll text them. They don't text back. I'll text them again the next day. I'll call them. They don't call me back. I'll call them again the next day. You know, we'll talk eventually.
I feel you.
Eventually.
I feel you.
Yeah. But I think that's super important. And it's nice when I meet people in public. You know, it could be people who follow us on social media or the podcast or they're new fans of the show. And they're like, man, you're like so much better to experience in person than online. And I think, yes, it's the human connection, but it also, I lead with kindness. I at least try to, you know, sometimes it's going to be 5 o'clock in the morning in the airport and I might, you know, be a little tired, but I'm super mindful about the interaction that I have with people because it just may be that one time that can change someone's life or motivate them or make them feel good because they needed that in that moment. And that's something that always resonates me. And it made me think even more like that's a huge part of my purpose.
It's so funny too, because you two always say Kadeen doesn't like people, and I just every time you say that, I'll be like, she lying, bro.
I guess not that I don't like people. I think
you don't know, Tribble.
Yeah, my social battery.
Protect your energy.
You know, social battery is different, and in order to have that impact on people, you need to recharge yourself. So if I'm going to be pouring into people who I come in contact with all the time, I need to recharge as well too. So I think it's more so my social battery that struggles.
Ain't nothing wrong with that,
especially being in a public, you know, setting.
Listen, ain't nothing wrong with that. Sometimes your purpose be like, stay away from them niggas.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
is that purpose or intuition?
To me, it's
God,
when
God
God tells you, like, yo, these people right here are not for you, bro. You may be able to get some money with them. You may be able to you may like hanging out with them. When they tell me, nah, this is not it. It's not it.
Yeah. And then you can kindly be like, you know what? This is where the conversation stop, you know? And you create that boundary.
No, I agree.
But yeah. All right. This is y'all got me feeling some kind of way with this conversation.
You should.
I love that.
Think about your purpose. Should make you feel. If you think about your purpose, don't make you feel a way, it's not your purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way.
No, for sure. We need to, I want to implore everyone listening and watching to, you know, consider that. Take some time to yourself and really just delve into what your actual reason is, you know, outside of all the noise, you know.
Does anybody have any tools or resources that you've used to help guide you to finding your purpose?
To me, meditation. The more time that I stay off of devices and my mind isn't being led to think something, the easier it is for me to fall into that state of I'm listening to myself. You know, even before you go to sleep or when you first wake up, sitting with yourself away from these things. Like, the worst time that you can either look for your purpose or try to meditate is after watching something or waking up and checking something.
Or being around people.
Yes.
Like, take time to be with yourself. Go out to lunch by yourself. Go to the movies by yourself. Find out what you like.
Yeah, that's
Those
true.
things
I was going to
people
say
don't do.
stillness. For me, that's helped. Like, stop trying to like do all the busy stuff and just sometimes if I have to make a decision, if, you know, I'm on the crossroads about something, I'm unsure, I just kind of still release it to God and be like, it's going to pop up. He's going to tell me what to do.
Don't put a time limit on it.
True.
You're right. Because you 30 minutes, I don't see nothing, I'm done.
Right.
It's like you meditated for 30 minutes. You thought God was going to tell you your whole life purpose in 30 minutes. Sometimes it takes days. Sometimes you sitting there for weeks and you just like, I don't hear it.
Yeah, it's on his time.
We grew up saying, you know, I listen to preachers say, you know, God, talk to me. I'm listening to hear your voice. That's no different than saying I'm waiting to hear what my purpose is, right? People call it God. Some people call it manifestation, intuition. You got to listen to what's in you. It says, the Bible says God made all of us in his image, right? Which means all of us are God's. People don't like to say that because they'll say, oh, you blasphemous. No, God made all of us in his image. So we are all God. God exists in all of us. You need to start listening to the person that exists within you. Because as much as you may love that person that sits across from you, my vision or my ideas for Kadeen's life ain't God's vision. So I can't even tell Kay what her vision is. She got to listen to the only person, and that's inside of her. So don't put no time limit on it, man. Just meditate, learn to listen, and be patient and be still. God will speak to you.
I would say in addition to that, because meditation is it's something you have to learn to do. You got to learn how to let your thoughts pass through you when you're meditating. So I would say too, if you want to spend time with yourself and use the prompt, if money was not an object, what would you do? What would you do in today? What would you do in a month? What would you do in 3 months? What would you do in a year? What would you do over your lifetime if money was not an object? And I think that will help you to like just lay down the burden of capitalism and
the rat race.
Yes, the rat race.
That's good, true.
Yeah.
And to really just strip yourself of all the material things that you think that, life is really about, and really figure out who you are inside and what matters to you.
I like that.
Good stuff. All right, y'all. We're going to pay some bills because, baby, that's the rat race that will not go away, at least for now. So we're going to do that, and we're going to come back with our listener letter for the show. So stick around.
All right, we're back now.
Okay, let's dive in. You going to read today, baby?
I got you, baby.
Go for it.
Hey, Kadeen, Deval, Tribble, Matt, and Josh. A few months ago, I walked away from an on and off relationship that wasn't serving me and my goal to be married. 2 weeks ago, I met someone who has been intentional about getting to know me. The chemistry is strong and we seem to be aligned in many ways. The problem is from what he has shared with me. His last relationship moved very quickly where it seemed they were aligned but quickly blew up and ended, and this is his first time putting himself back out there since then. Although I've known this guy for a short period of time, I have no doubt at all that he is someone that I want to be with. We recently spoke about dating other people while both of us have other people on the sidelines. We both stated that it's not serious with them. I personally am no longer interested in the other guys I was dating before I met him, and I have little interest in trying to start something with anyone else. So my question is, how do I manage these beginning stages of building a strong foundation without moving too fast and scaring him off knowing I am certain? What are some tips for engaging with him? And also, how can I manage my own anxiety about him potentially choosing the other person he's talking to over moving forward with me? Sincerely, a loyal listener.
Can I
Go ahead, jump in there, Trebs.
Because this is a common scenario with
all the time.
Lesbians, especially because women can bond so quickly. And I'll be in love in 2 weeks. I'm in love right now. Totally new chick. Yeah. Women can just bond so quickly and see something in you that, like, isn't necessarily the whole picture. So I would say, one, let's get acquainted with the term infatuation, because that's what it is. You're infatuated with somebody you're spending a lot of time with, that's asking you a lot of questions. You're getting to know them. It feels really good, and it should feel good. But you're not certain because you really don't know this person. And it's better to, I think I'd be saying, if you're going to go fast, go deep. Yes, I'm all for it. I'll be in a relationship. I will move to a new city. I'll be like, what do you think about getting married after knowing somebody for 3 weeks? But just give it time. Don't worry about being scary. Be your full self. Let him be his full self. And the whole picture will unfold in time.
I was going to say it's good to be who you are and be clear about what your expectations are, your intentions are. Take a stance. I think it's great to know what you want and to be able to vocalize that without feeling like you're going to be judged for it. But then also allowing him the latitude and the space to make his own decisions, because the question about managing your own anxiety about him potentially choosing another person, like, if the other person's for him, that other person's going to be for him. And you can't have anxiety around that. You have to just know fully that you're going to be with who you're supposed to be with. You can't control what's going to happen with him and how he interacts with other women. So you need to focus on what you can focus on and control, which is yourself. And I think just being honest.
I think that was great advice, to be honest. Being honest, being forward, being direct, being patient, and letting the chips fall where they may. You can't control your way to someone else's heart.
Nope, so, you don't want to.
No.
That's another thing too that should let you know that you're not certain, because it's like, do you want to be with this person or do you not want to be alone? Because if you know for certain that you want this person in your life, it shouldn't really matter in what capacity they are there. So if they were to choose someone else romantically, you would still have a bond with them, right?
That is true. You have to accept people for who they are and how they want to show up in your life.
Yes.
Right.
You trying to control how they show up in your life is a you problem.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And that's where her anxiety comes from. Her
Yeah.
anxiety comes from lack of control.
Lack of control.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I like that him saying the problem was that he moved too quickly last time and that
Mhm.
everything kind of came to a head too quickly. So now he's using discernment to say, I'm going to
This is
take my
she.
time.
Isn't this a she?
This is she wrote in, but she was saying that he moved.
yeah.
You were saying,
Yeah, I was saying for him to know
oh,
that that's what happened in his previous relationship and it came to a head too quickly. And now he's like, I'm taking my time.
he's being
Allow him
deliberate.
to
Learned
take
his
his
lesson.
time.
Yeah, he learned his lesson being
let him be
deliberate. I agree.
deliberate. And you can
I agree.
respect that versus
You
going
have
from
to
one
respect
thing
it.
to fly
You
into
got no
another thing.
choice.
No choice but to respect it.
For sure.
Mhm.
For sure.
I
All right.
agree.
I hope that helped you. Thanks so much for being a loyal listener too. All right. You want to be featured in a listener letter? Let us know. Write into us at theellisadvice@gmail.com.
That's TheEllisadvice@gmail.com.
All right, time for the moment of truth. Today we're talking about non-career success. We're talking about purpose, what that means to us. A really awesome, I think, insightful and deep conversation. Anyone want to lead us out with their moment of truth?
Take the time to go find out what your purpose is.
Yep. Take the time.
I know I am.
Make the time.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, that's great.
Don't tell DeVell what you think your purpose is. He gonna say, nah, nigga.
I knew
That's what you
Josh
think
was
it is.
Go
you
back.
don't know. Now, I always got a moment of truth. I think this podcast was for me. Defining those, defining purpose is integral to like how you want to move, but beyond success, right?
Mhm.
Success is something that you're taught to chase and taught to aspire to, but no one really talks about purpose as much outside of a spiritual sort of setting.
Mhm.
So for me, it was just like, get back into redefining what your purpose is and know for sure, so that when you're speaking about your purpose, you can speak with assurity.
I love that.
I love it.
And you're such a Jamaican. Integral.
Bro,
That's what I'm-
Integral.
I went to
That's
tap and say
great.
Acura.
Integral.
I said integral?
You said
Yeah.
integral.
I
Yeah.
He
love
always
that.
does
Saying
that
like
too.
cucumber and vegetable and comfortable and condensed milk. What you got, Dribs?
I had it, but Josh in this
Being
microphone
Jamaican made you lose it.
drive me crazy. Fuck.
I'll go real quick while you think about it.
I got it.
You got it? Okay, go ahead.
When things feel easy, pay attention. When things feel like they're coming to you easy, when things feel aligned, when things feel like they're just falling into place, pay attention to what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Your gifts.
Those are your gifts. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
Anything,
baby.
baby? I was going to say, when you're thinking of your purpose, think about the things you know. So like DeVal said, we all led with, I think my purpose is. Think about what you know. I know
Mhm.
this. I am who I say I am,
Mhm.
not who everybody else says you're supposed to be.
I like that. Mine is simple. Your purpose cannot be defined by man-made social constructs like careers and titles, like husband, father. Like those can't be your purpose. Your purpose can only be defined by your relationship with your creator. Whether you call him God, Allah, it doesn't matter. Your purpose can only be defined by your conversations with yourself, and you have to get comfortable having those conversations with yourself. We can't even tell you what that looks like.
That's a fact. All right, y'all. What we can tell you to do, though, is to find us on Patreon because we love it over there. We're having all the fun, the after shows,
That's
Ellis
your
family
purpose.
content. That is your
Subscribe.
purpose right now, is to make sure that you follow us there so you can see all the content that we have put together for you. And you can also find us on social media. We are on Instagram and TikTok at Ellis Ever After. I'm Kadeen I Am.
And I am DeVal.
I'm _ Matt Dials, but I'm going to go see if I can find an IAM account.
Get money, baby. Let's get money.
And I am Joshua Dwayne without the I am in front of Joshua Dwayne.
And I am Tribs the Cool, TRIBBZ the Cool on everything.
And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, be sure to download, rate, review, download again, subscribe, then download,
And then rate 5 stars.
and then download. Cut!
Ellis Ever After is an iHeartMedia podcast. It's hosted by Kadeen and DeVal Ellis. It's produced by Tribble. Video production by Joshua Dwayne and Matthew Ellis. Video editing by LaShawn Rowe.